Ever wonder how your finances really stack up? It's a question we all kind of ask ourselves, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive deep into the median net worth by age, using the latest data to see what the typical financial journey really looks like. Let's get right into it.
So, we're going to give you the benchmarks. But listen, this isn't about obsessively comparing yourself to others. It's more about understanding the roadmap, seeing the different stages. So, to get started, what are we actually measuring here?
Okay, first things first, let's nail down our key term, net worth. Honestly, it's the single best snapshot of your financial health. It's a super simple but really powerful formula. Just take what you own, your assets, and subtract what you owe, your liabilities. That final number, that tells the real story.
Let's break that down even more. On one side of the scale, you've got your assets. That's things like cash, your 401k, the value of your home, other investments. On the other side, liabilities, things you owe, like a mortgage, student loans, car payments, and of course, credit card debt. The goal, obviously, is to make that asset side way, way heavier. Now, this is a really important distinction we have to make, the difference between average and median. The average net worth you hear about can be super misleading because it gets pulled way up by a few billionaires. The median, though, that's the true middle point. Half of all households are above it, half are below it. It's just a much more realistic benchmark, so that's the number we're going to be focusing on today.
So, what is that median number for the typical U.S. household? Well, according to the Federal Reserve's latest data, it's $192,700. But that's just the overall picture. The real story, the interesting part, unfolds when we start breaking it down by age.
So let's see how this all builds up, starting with the youngest adults. These are what we'll call the building years. This is the time when you're laying down the financial foundation for the rest of your life.
For households where the head is under 35, the median net worth is just over $39,000. And that number really reflects what's going on at this stage, right? You're starting a career, you're making your first real attempts at saving, and often you're carrying that heavy burden of early life debt.
And this table, wow, it really highlights the huge range within this age group. I mean, the median is 39 grand, but look at that jump. For the top 20%, it's over 184,000. And then it more than doubles again for the top 10%. It just goes to show you how those early financial habits can put you on a completely different path.
So, what's the story behind these numbers? Well, for so many young adults, it's a total juggling act. They're often dealing with the highest student loan balances they'll ever have. They're focused on building good credit, and they're navigating lower incomes at the very start of their careers. Sometimes even using credit cards just to make ends meet.
Okay. Now we're entering what I like to call the squeeze and acceleration phase. These are your prime earning years. Your income often takes off. But this is also when life's biggest expenses, like a house, cars, and raising a family, come right along with it.
And boy, can you see that acceleration in the numbers. For the 35 to 44 age group, the median net worth just shoots up to $135,300. That's more than triple the amount for the under 35 group.
And the growth just keeps on going. Between ages 45 and 54, it nearly doubles again, hitting $246,700. This is when the benefits of an advancing career, consistent investing, and paying down debt really start to kick in and compound.
When you look at these two decades side by side, it really just shows you the raw power of compound growth and career momentum. For most people, this period is where they see the single biggest jump in their financial lives.
So during these peak earning years, the whole financial picture gets a lot more complex, right? This is when most people take on their biggest debts ever, like a mortgage. And at the same time, they're juggling the costs of raising a family. And for a lot of folks, those student loans from their 20s are, still hanging around.
All right, and finally, we reach the peak years. This is the stage leading you right into retirement, where decades of hard work, saving, and investing really, truly pay off.
For those aged 55 to 64, we see another huge leap. The median net worth climbs to over $364,000. This is often when mortgages start getting paid off and those retirement accounts hit their highest balances ever. And here we are, the summit. The highest median net worth is found among Americans aged 65 to 74, at a whopping $410,000. This is pretty much the culmination of a lifetime of financial activity. But you might wonder what happens after that peak. As this table shows, net worth typically starts to decline for those 75 and older. But listen, that's not a sign of failure. It actually means the plan is working.
People are beginning to draw on those savings to live comfortably in retirement.
The entire financial mindset just flips at this stage. It's no longer about growth and accumulation. The focus turns completely to preservation, to making sure that wealth lasts throughout all of your retirement. You start drawing down savings, and getting rid of any leftover debts becomes priority number one.
When you look at all these age groups together on one chart, you can see it so clearly, can't you? The whole life cycle of wealth. It starts small, it accelerates through your midlife, and it peaks right around retirement. It's a really powerful visual story of a lifetime of work and saving.
So after seeing all this data, the really crucial question is, how can you improve your own financial story, no matter what age you are? Let's look at a few key strategies.
You know, a few universal principles just consistently lead to building wealth. First, you gotta aggressively pay off that high-interest debt. Second, invest consistently so your money starts working for you. Third, find ways to increase your income, whether that's a raise or a side hustle. And finally, and this is a big one, never, ever leave free money on the table. Always take advantage of an employer match in your retirement plan.
This quote really just gets to the absolute heart of it. Finding assets that appreciate is really the key to building wealth. You've got to outpace inflation. What she means is, building wealth isn't just about saving cash in a bank account. It's about owning assets like stocks or real estate or a business that grow in value over time. And crucially, they have to grow faster than inflation is eating away at your money's value.
So in the end, these numbers aren't about comparison. They're a map to help you think about your own journey. So after seeing all this data and thinking about where you are in this life cycle of wealth, the real question is, what's one thing you'll do differently to shape your financial future?